John Parker, I hope you're doing well, man. Welcome into the game in Tuscaloosa.
My man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I'm great. 29-0 whipping from Alabama, man. I mean, life is good here in T-Town.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That was a pretty strong performance for our boys down on the Bayou last Saturday. I mean, just start to finish, and it was such a. I tell you what, man, that place was rocking before the game started. They were able to weather the storm, and then right before half, really make them pay. So it was an all-around team win. It was the first time that Alabama's kind of they won a different way, and it wasn't just to pass the game. It was a little bit of everything. So it was nice to see them come together and get a big win like that.
Yeah, now I want to pick your brain about a lot of different things. And let's just start with defense from our standpoint of deserving a lot of our attention. As you said, won the game a lot of different ways. But let me ask you in a generic way, or maybe somewhere that you can kind of help us. What did this defense do different? Was it scheme-wise, or was it just coming to play, rising to the occasion? Why do they have this performance?
I don't think it was much different scheme. I really don't. I think it was just our guys making plays. It was just a all-around solid performance. And if you look back on this season and when the defense has struggled, and we will call it struggle. I mean, that's relative term. There's still pretty good defense. But when they haven't looked their best, it was some miscommunication. It was guys running free. It was a running back coming out of the backfield, or the defensive secondary not switching off of man coverage the right way with whatever look they got. But this was the most efficient game they had played, and they executed across the board. And I think it just came down to we had better athletes, and those athletes executed much better than the other team. And anytime you pitch a shutout in SEC contest, that's getting it done. And they looked really good, just making plays all over the field. They really did a good job all night.
I want to highlight the two guys that I think are really stepping up. And Anthony Jennings, I don't know if he was 100%. He may never admit to it, but I don't know if he was 100% at the early part of the season. He was close, but he's playing with a lot better confidence going into the month of November.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, he plays – he plays that position where that jack position in the defense, where sometimes he's a linebacker, sometimes he puts his hand on the ground and rushes the passer. He's asked to do a whole lot of different things, and every night what he does is not going to show up in the stat line. So he's probably not ever going to lead the team in tackles or have the most sacks. But man, he just makes plays. It seems like he's always disrupting a screen or knocking a ball down, having deflection. I think he has improved from the first game and gotten better every game, and he's still got 5.5 tackles for a loss. So he's getting it done. But what he does is it's not going to show up in the stat line every week. But, man, he plays hard, and I know it rub off on the rest of the guys.
Well, and it seems like I was talking to Barrett Jones earlier, and I know Nick Saban is getting tired of answering this question, but Quentin Williams. I mean, I don't know what else we can say, but – I mean, John Parker, he exceeds our expectations every single week. He was National Player, Bronco Nagurski, National Player of the Week this week, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, this guy deserves us talking about him, but I don't know any other way to say that he's having a breakout season.
Oh, man, there's no doubt. He is. I think he'd be the MVP of the defense right now with the way he's playing and really, really controlling the line of scrimmage. I mean, LSU – this week, they knew they watched the tape. And ever since the first game against Louisville, he's been making plays. He's been disruptive. This week, LSU said, okay, we're going to try not to let him beat us. They tried it with an extra guard blocking him, double teaming him, getting a running back involved. But, I mean, he was relentless. And even the plays where he kind of does get blocked, his motor never stops. He's making one arm behind the back tackles just because he's so strong. And now that I say that, talking to Coach Cochran, talking to other coaches, this is a guy who's bought in and comes to work every day, no matter if it's March 15th or it's October 15th and you're playing Tennessee or you're going down to Baton Rouge. He brings his lunch pail to work every day. And I know the coaches love him and the way he just comes to work, does his job, makes plays. And man, to tell you what, unfortunately, I don't know, it's too early to say, but he did redshirt his first year, so he is draft eligible. The way he's playing right now, I mean, he's got to be one of the top picks in the draft. he's just in the backfield. It seems like every play.
You know, and how about motivation? I mean, think about Quentin Williams. For all those players right now that are not getting the play in time because there's so much talent in Tuscaloosa, is that not just like a poster for the Nick Saban process really works? Because you don't have to play 3 or 4 years to get that attention. Maybe you save some of your body and allow yourself to develop and go through the process. And you look at Quentin Williams, whether he goes out this year or he waits another year, that's a poster for Nick Saban's process.
Yeah, just doing it the right way all the time. That kind of goes back to what Coach Saban said in his early days is, hey, play like the scoreboard 0-0. It doesn't matter if it's playing during the game or playing during practice or playing in the weight room. He really is. And now you got guys behind him like Phil Mathis and LeBron Ray, Johnny Dwight. They got to be sitting here saying, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. And I know Johnny Dwight's a fifth-year guy, but, well, you know, LeBron and Phil are both young guys. But I'm telling you, this is the leadership that Coach Saban talks about. And that's what it is. It's leadership. That's what it boils down to is the freshmen are now looking at him saying, if he's working this hard, you know, I better come to practice too. When I was playing, that guy was Julio Jones. I mean, we've talked about him many times, running faster, running more than everybody else. And that's, I tell you what, that's how you get to be the number one team in the country. That's how you get to be 29-0 versus LSU with everything on the line. It's just guys doing it the right way. And I know it makes Coach Saban and the rest of the staff so proud.
We are talking to John Parker Wilson. It's powered every single week by Tuscaloosa, Toyota, tuscaloosa.youtube.com. Find them on the Facebook account. I know they're going to be giving away some great tickets, hopefully to the SEC Championship. Find them on the Facebook account, Twitter account, tuscaloosa.youtube.com. $18,888 for the 2018 Camry LA edition. Now let's go to the defensive side of the football for LSU. What did they throw at Tua? What did they do to maybe make him 25 of 42? I'm going to say almost human. But he did show some mistakes there. What were they doing?
They threw everything at him. And that's tough to do because when you do that as a defense, you become a little unsound sometimes. You're doing some things that you haven't practiced. Yeah, you're doing some things that really hadn't got you there. And they tried everything. A lot of exotic blitzes, especially on third downs where showing just looks they've been keeping in their pocket the whole year. And I think that's not only a quarterback and offense, but that's what everybody on Alabama expects now is you're going to get the best the other team's got, and they're going to save stuff for when they play Alabama. And LSU is no different. I think Mississippi State next week is going to do that. And it's tough. I mean, you know, he's still just a sophomore quarterback, and there's things, there's coverages, there's blitzes, there's situations that he just hadn't seen. And the more you're out there, the more you can play, the more you get used to them, and you kind of find out how the defensive coordinator is trying to play tricks on you, or that linebacker is trying to make it look like he's blitzing, but he's really not. Those are things you learn along the way, but he still get it done. I think, you know, finally threw his first interception of the year. But, you know, that's a good interception. And, you know, a good interception is one that you can learn from. It's not like he didn't see the safety. He knew what was going on. He just thought he could throw it down the field. He's a little late, had to step up in the pocket and move around. So when that situation comes up again and he knows he's got that down the field shot, you know, you learn from it, say, you know, maybe I need to check it down or maybe I need to pull it down and run. Those are things you learn from. So playing in big-time situations like this game, it's invaluable. And he did well. I mean, he still finished with 2 touchdowns. He ran one in, took care of the ball for the most part. So I think he did a really good job going in a hostile environment. And had a slow start relative to the rest of the season. Didn't score. First drive was kind of sloppy, but was able to go back over to the bench, take a deep breath, get everybody else ready to play, and then finish the game pretty strong.
We're talking to John Parker Wilson. Final couple of minutes here with him, proudly presented by Tuscaloosa Toyota. Is Mississippi State, I know there's a different look. They've got a couple of really nice NFL defensive linemen up front, defensive backs for LSU. But do you think this defense is on the same level?
You know, I haven't watched them on field yet, but I've just got my play sheet. I'm starting to go through the notes. And here's what I'm looking at. Mississippi State defense, first in the SEC in scoring. They're only giving up 12.3 points a game. Third in the conference in rushing. First against the pass. First in pass efficiency. First in total yards, second, third down. I mean, this is a good defense.
Wow. I mean,
that's just looking at the numbers, and I know they've played some good teams, and that's pretty good. So how does Alabama counter that? Because they're going to get everything. They've seen the tape, and like I said earlier, they're going to hold some blitzes back, and it's kind of where they're at in the season. Again, not a lot to play for, so they can throw out, hey, who cares if we're sound on this play or not? Let's try to get back there and sack Tua. He's only been sacked 6 times now, so let's try something different. You can do that when your back's against the wall like Mississippi State is. So that's what makes it scary is they've got good players. And, is this a sandwich game between Alabama just won the West? They're going to the SEC championship. You got to show up to play. It starts during the week in practice.
John Parker Wilson, I always appreciate you for being a part of the show. It's always made possible by the great guys at Tuscaloosa Toyota. Take a couple of minutes here and talk about that wonderful dealership.
Yeah, I really enjoy coming on with you. I spent a lot of time at Tuscaloosa, obviously on Saturday. I work during the week there a couple days a week. But, I don't think the staff gets any better. I've been working with those guys for a few years now. I'd say just, hey, check out next time you're looking for a car, check out their website. Either go by their awesome showroom, their awesome lot down on Skyline Boulevard, but tuscaloosa.youtube.com. I'm like most people also. If I'm going to get on my phone and check out the inventory and check out the deals, 0% financing on a lot of the cars right now. Anything you can want or any questions you could have, there is answers on the app, on the phone. And like you said earlier, check them out on Facebook, check them out on Twitter. They give it a lot of weight, a lot of free stuff, a lot of tickets, very interactive. I know I follow them. It's fun stuff. So check them out at tuscaloosa.com or go down and check out the lot on Skyline. Tell them I sent you.
And we love things that are number one in Tuscaloosa. We love Alabama football because they're number one, and we are Alabama's number one volume Toyota certified dealer. It's Tuscaloosa Toyota, tuscaloosa.toyota.com. John Parker, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you in the press box on Saturday. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Roll Tide, brother.